Open up, you OPN, bitch, you won't BBM.
Alright, welcome back to the channel. Today we are doing surgery on the Mach. So, those strange noises coming from under the car would be Hayden fighting with the drive shaft. So, I'm about to get in there with him. We're going to be pulling the old transmission and converter. Got the new billet valve covers installed. So, those are looking pretty good. Need to relocate this wire right here for the O2 sensor. Don't mind that, it's because we had the down pipe flipped over on the dyno. But yeah, I got those billet valve covers installed. Still need to polish out this intake pipe here. So I want to polish that to like a mirror finish. And then we got the new transmission over here from Keith Zabo set us up with this, and we went ahead and did a dump valve on here to help us spool the turbo a little faster. And we've got the converter here from a guy named Greg Slack. A lot of people don't even know who he is, but he's probably one of the best kept secrets in the converter industry. So we're gonna get to work and try and get this knocked out.
Open up, you OPN, bitch, you won't BBM. We should be closer than friends. If you OPN, engaging you's on my agenda. Request my chariot to get ya. The door's OPN. Take that hot road and hop in.
Alright guys, we're still at it. Getting our butts kicked by these top bell housing bolts. When the motor got put in, I put those bolts on with the intake off the car.
So it's just pissing fuel off.
So Hayden's disconnecting one of the fuel lines right now. That will hopefully solve the issue. So we got one out. Just trying to get the other one out.
Open up, you OPN, bitch, you won't BBM. We should be closer than friends. If you OPN, engaging you's on my agenda. Request my chariot to get ya.
All right, there he is.
Oh my God.
We got it out though. There's the old ATI. Really good power glide actually. I just decided to upgrade to something a little bit stronger, and that one had very little use on it. But I think we're gonna call it a night there and then get the new one in tomorrow. All right, so we're about to stab the converter into the transmission. So this is our old converter. This is a Cameron's billet converter. Still a really good converter. It was just built for about 1,200 wheel horsepower, and the car's just kind of, I guess, progressed. So we needed to get a converter that could, you know, kind of keep up with what we're doing. So this converter was a little tight for our setup. So we've got this new converter from Greg Slack here. We have dubbed it the Jamaican, and we already got our fluid in there. So we're switching from ATF over to using like a hydraulic fluid. So we got our fluid in here, and so now we're just gonna stab this thing on the transmission. Probably make a mess doing it, but hey, try and get an idea of where we need to be at. See if we get somewhat close.
There it goes. Make sure it's in the pump.
It's definitely all the way back.
All right, so here's our next dilemma. When we, Hayden, so rude. When we took the transmission out, we didn't have this on it, so we're gonna need to pull that off for the dipstick tube, basically. So the issue is the car's not that high off the ground, so we have to tilt the front of the transmission down, basically get it under the car, and then lower the back. And with the dipstick tube on there, there's no way we're gonna be able to do that. So, gonna pull that off, and then one of us will get under the car, one of us will have to slide it in, and the other one will have to hold the converter into the transmission so it does not slide out, make a mess, and then we have to try and re-stab it under the car. So we're gonna get started on that right now.
Open you up like a Pokeball. Open up, tear you out for a Pokeball. Let your emotion waterfall on me. Open up. You open up. Bitch, you won't be BM. We should be closer than friends. If you open engaging you's on my agenda. Request my chariot to get ya. The door's open. Take the high road and hop in. Open up, open up. Shut it down like a Macintosh. Open up, open. Cold as ice and Coca-Cola. Open up.
So we got the new transmission and converter in. We got it in there. We discovered the bell housing on the new transmission is a little bit thicker, so we had to get longer bolts for that. Also, my oil filter relocation bolts to the bell housing and the bracket for that won't work either because of the bell housing thickness. So Hayden's gonna make a new bracket for that. Pinion seal has to be replaced, so that's gotta be done before the drive shaft can go back in. The guys at Quick Performance sent us one. And outside of that, that's pretty much it as far as the transmission and converter goes. I've had a couple people ask me, why we changed. We already had a really nice powerglide in the car, and we had a really nice converter, in the Cameron's converter. It just wasn't built for the kind of power that this car is now making, and it's capable of a lot more. We haven't even really begun to lean on it. This thing will probably see 35 to 40 pounds of boost once we really start to get comfortable with it and turn it up. So we needed a converter that could handle that. Also, the new powerglide has a beefed up input and output shaft. They're a 300M input and output shaft, so they're a little bit stronger. And we also did go to a 1.69 first gear ratio. So that will help us to be able to apply more power off the line and control, hopefully control the wheelies. At some point, you're gonna add enough power that the car is gonna wheelie and come up, but you just have to find that fine line. But with that lower first gear ratio, we can really apply a lot of power to the car, get the car to 60 foot harder, run first gear out longer. So ultimately it should help us to go quicker. And it was just kind of better to do this all now. The other transmission was still practically new. I'm sure that the old Cameron's converter will find a great home as well. It's a awesome converter. It's just not, really up to par for what we're doing here. Thanks for watching this video. We will have some more videos coming soon of taking the car out and testing the car. Then we will also be at Streetcar Takeover on November 2nd in Ennis, Texas, which is outside of Dallas. So if you're coming out to Streetcar Takeover, be sure to come by, introduce yourself. We'll have some t-shirts out there if you want to get a t-shirt or a hat, and we'd love to meet you.